What is up, guys? So today's Friday and we're gonna be doing another video here on this channel talking about chasing excellence and how to become the best man that you possibly can. Now, I'm sure this channel is probably going to be catered towards 95% men, but all of these things that we talk about today are going to really help you to even become, the best woman that you can be as well. Now, a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, I highly recommend you guys go watch a lot of other channels like Entrepreneurs in Cars, check out Rollo Tomasi, read The Rational Male. A lot of these books have also helped me in my journey to become the best possible person that I can be. But like I said, with this channel, I'm not going to have a shooting schedule. I'm not going to make this super high editing or anything. I'm just not even going to edit it. We're just going to shoot the shit. We're just going to hang out. This is going to be our time now to chill. And hopefully through these videos, I can help you guys in giving you all the knowledge that I've learned over the past 7 to 8 years, being in prison, being a convicted felon, and building a company that's going to do $400,000 this year in revenue, all from my house. So that's kind of the goal. Hit the like button, subscribe, share these videos with your friends, because my real goal that I want with this channel is to go live. I think that'd be really, really cool so you guys can ask questions in real time. In order to do that, we need to get this up to, I think it's 1,000 subscribers. So if this really helps you, go ahead and share it with somebody else. But what we're going to be talking about today is chasing excellence. And like I said, go listen to Rich Cooper. He's one of those people, if you might hate him, that's just how it is. But a lot of his work, a lot of Rollo Tomasi's work, a lot of that, as much as I don't agree with everything, it really, really has helped me a lot. And so we're going to talk about in this video, I have some bullet points in this email that I sent to myself, so this way you guys can see it. But we're going to go over and we're going to talk about really the key ways that you should be looking at your life when it comes to women. And on top of that, when it comes to just being the best version of you. For those of you who actually don't know me at all, you've never seen me, I run a YouTube channel called Traders Helping Traders with 35,000 subscribers. Also, if you hear the birds, I'm sorry, it's 80 degrees out and I need the windows open. But I run a trading group. We have over 1,500 students. That's the business. That's the paying business. Going to do $400,000 this year. I run a YouTube channel with 32,000 subs. Another one called DeCarlo Capital, which is more going over my trades, which that has about 12,000 subs at this point. And a lot of you who don't know me now don't really know that before this, I was a men's fashion blogger and dating coach. That was actually what I really liked to do. Not pickup type dating, but I helped a lot of people with that. And that was my passion. And so I get a lot of people who still come to me dude, I'm having trouble with women. I'm having trouble getting girls' numbers. I'm 32, 33, 34. I want to settle down with a family. What should I do? And so I kind of sent this to myself. I was in a coffee shop typing some things up, and I said, heart of being a man, which I'm not necessarily saying this has to be some mushy thing, but that is your goal, right? As a man or a woman, as a person, your goal should always be to chase excellence over anything else, over money, over women, over status, over all of that. Chasing excellence is your most important thing. So I said here, your main priority in life should be to chase excellence and only focus on being the best version of you. Women, money, status are all results of chasing excellence, not the way around. So I know that from a mental standpoint, that sounds like no shit, Sherlock, but you really have to think about that. So many people want short-term gratification or short-term status, right? Or short-term money, or to get a bunch of women's phone numbers. And all of that doesn't matter. You just have to constantly push to be the best version of you, so that this way the rest of those things come easily into your life. You become a magnet to money, to status, to wealth, to women, just by chasing excellence and just by being the best version of you. If your goal in life is to make a ton of money, then chasing money is not your goal. This leads to diverting from your route in life and chase the next trend, usually ending up too late, such as real estate, Dogecoin, pump and dumps, MLMs. And I'm not saying that you can't make money with these, but trying to chase them alone will always cause you an issue. Like I said before, I teach people to trade the stock market. 95% of people fail because they're constantly trying to catch the next trend, trying to catch Dogecoin or a new coin or NFTs. And I'm not saying you can't make money in these. I'm just saying that when you're constantly chasing you will always be behind. It's when you're ahead of the curve, you're not chasing. Like, literally think of the word chasing, you're always behind. You're always behind the thing that you're running after. If your main goal in life is to pull women, then chasing women will not get you women. Women look for status and a man who is on a mission. So many people talk about the thrill of a man who is on a mission and know what he wants. Never make women your priority in life, but only a compliment. Your goal is to be the best version of yourself, which will inherently attract higher value women. I say this a lot to my friends who are like 27, 28, 29, and like, dude, I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a career. I'm starting a business. And I'm like, dude, women care more about the fact that you're driven, that you're passionate, and that you have goals more than how much money you have now. Now that changes when you're like 45, 50 years old. You can't just like, have a plan and no money when you're 50. Women are not going to want that, unfortunately. If your main goal is fame, then chasing followers, statuses, and likes alone will not make you reputable. This is how you see a flash in the pan popularity of someone who has status but is a dickhead. Instead, focus once again on becoming the best version of you, and over time, your status will grow. And on top of that too, just looking at it from a business standpoint, guys, this is very, very important. Businesses that take longer to start and to grow usually last longer, right? So look at Amazon. It took like 30, or I think like 23 to like 26 years to grow to what it's become now. And Amazon's not going anywhere, right? If you look at some of these flash in the pan companies like Jazzercise, right? I don't even know why I thought of that. Is that going to be around in 10 years? Probably not, right? Those flash in the pan companies tend to not stick around long. So for me, when it comes to status, specifically, I'm not worried about getting a ton of subscribers right now. I plan to be doing YouTube for the next 10, 20, 30 years, which is very important. Now, let's talk about how to, quote, chase excellence. And a lot of these guys, I'm not teaching you something like crazy, right? But it's just making that mental shift is extremely important. So the first thing is to prioritize your health and your body. A high value man or woman will not treat his body like shit. I'm not saying to never eat pizza, but remember, within the first few seconds of meeting you, somebody will formulate an opinion. Not to mention, on how your body looks is how your mind will feel. So within 5 seconds of meeting somebody, you normally will make a subconscious judgment on that person, right? And this is why we're going to get into dressing well, which we'll talk about that. Let's just move into that too, and we'll talk about the two together, right? So dressing well, once again, I'm not saying you have to wear a dumb $500 Gucci belt, wear a suit every day when you live in the Bahamas or somewhere that's hot as hell, but for clothes, make sure you dress for the occasion and that everything fits. Like I said earlier, opinions are fast, and seeing a man that's well dressed knows that he prioritizes himself and his standards, not to mention you feel good and you will act differently. So if you go into a business meeting and you're potentially going to invest in a company and you meet the owner of the company, and the owner of the company, like, obviously I'm not dressed super nice right now, I'm wearing a Cam Hanes hunting t-shirt and a Terry Black's barbecue hat, right? That's not, I'm not in a business meeting or anything crazy like that. But if you look at somebody and the guy that is asking for money to invest in his company is disheveled, he's overweight, he kind of smells like cigarettes, his suit doesn't fit him, it's like half tucked in, half tucked out. Like, all these are formulated opinions, as much as you don't want to know that you are somebody who is not disciplined, right? This is going to sound really messed up, but when I see somebody who's extremely overweight, they're not disciplined. That's what, unless you have like a thyroid problem or whatever, a lot of people are gonna get pissed about hearing that, but you're just not disciplined. I'm not disciplined enough either. I have a 2-pack, I should have a 6-pack. But what I'm saying is, like, it's not about necessarily being jacked or being ripped. It's about just prioritizing yourself and your body first. When you prioritize your body, your mind becomes better. When you dress better, like I said, you don't have to dress in anything crazy, but when you dress better, you feel better. And all of these things invade your psyche and turn you microscopically into the person that you become later on down the road, which I'll talk a lot about atomic habits, but that's one of those things. These small micro adjustments that you make in your life over the long run make an insane difference. The third thing is to never stop learning. Too many people think that once they have a piece of paper and a ton of debt, that their time to learn has ended. Never stop learning. I recommend reading at least 1 book per month. Personally, I read 52 per year. Audible is great, but try to read at least 4 paper books per year, because that's a skill you're going to need. I know a lot of people who just listen to Audible, which is great, but I recommend at minimum you grab 1 paper book and you read it. Because I know a lot of people, it's going to sound stupid, but a lot of grown ass men who read like a seventh grader. They can't read out loud. And it's like, you're not going to really need that a lot, but you don't want to be called on to read something in public at a meeting off of a piece of paper and you're stuttering over your words like Porky Pig. You don't want that. It's not a good look, because even if you are very competent and you're very well put together and you're very intelligent, if you can't read out loud because you're just not used to it, you're used to just listening to things, you're not going to come off that way, as messed up as that sounds. Now, the fourth thing is to make new friends or join a club. Toastmasters, when I first got started in like personal development in 2011, 2010, was like a huge thing. I don't know if they're still around, but spend time networking, not only meeting connections, but learning to how to speak to people. Learning how to speak to people, learning, which we'll talk a lot in a lot of other videos in the future, but dialogue, talking about, posture, stance, how you're sitting, how you're talking, like these are all important. Like imagine if I was sitting here like this, talking to you guys the whole time like this, like you're not going to pay attention to me. And I'm not saying you have to see the guys who sit out like this, but it's like learning all of these subtle cues and dialogue is extremely, extremely important. And the only way you get used to that is just by talking to people. So go out, talk to fucking 10 people a day, right? Start small. Confidence is extremely important when it comes to social interactions, as the only way that you become more confident socially is just talking to strangers. I learned this skill by talking to 10 to 20 strangers per day, preferably women, since I was terrified at the time. I was talking to my buddy last night about this, but like I used to do a thing where I have to compliment 20 women a day. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to get a phone number, but hey, that dress looks really good on you. Hey, compliment in any fashion you want. And if you really need to start, like if you're just terrified to talk to women, go compliment a 90-year-old lady, right? It's the easiest thing to do. And when you compliment people, you make their day. Like you probably remember a time where somebody complimented you on a shirt you were wearing, your new haircut, anything. And for the rest of the day, you're like, oh, damn, dude, that's really amazing. Like, I can't believe people actually notice I got a good haircut. Like, those are extremely important. And the more you talk to people, the more important it is. We'll talk a lot more on this channel about friends and networking, etc., etc. And to give those who were originally in your shoes back. So kind of what I'm doing now, right? And I'm not saying I teach you guys how to be a fucking, make $10 million a year, but I can teach you how to make $400,000 a year, right? I remember a time where I was unmotivated. I wasn't disciplined. I was pushing carts for $9 an hour. I went to prison for 9 months. I was a fucking addict. Like I was just a shitbag person. And it was through like me going through all of this that changed my life and made me realize like there's people out there that, like maybe I could help even one fucking person, just one person. I don't have to help the world, but if I can help one of you guys, you can help somebody else. The chain continues to grow. And that's all that's important to me, honestly. It's just helping other people. And this is what I'm doing now. I'm not here to sell you anything, which is fucking true. I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not going to build some bullshit mastermind. Like, that's it. I'm here completely for free to hang out with you guys. And I'm really doing this for my own happiness. Like I said, I'm not making a schedule. I'm not editing these videos. I'm not doing anything. This is for me. This is my passion project. And this is what makes me happy. So whether this channel gets 100,000 subs or fucking 50, I don't care. You know what I mean? Too many times to see friends and people start to get a taste of excellence and then they turn into a smug douchebag. Don't be that person. The best way to perfect something is to teach it. That as well. So guys, at the end of the day, I hope this video helped. I know this is a little long, and the point of this video is not necessarily to say like you got to change your life right the fuck now, right? Like go out, buy a bunch of suits, throw away your wardrobe, start getting jacked, read 52 books a year, fucking go say fuck you to all your friends and go meet a bunch of people. Like, that's not what it is, right? It's about chasing excellence and growing over time, right? Really good book, Atomic Habits. It's behind me. I freaking talk about it in like so many videos and stuff. But one of the biggest things that he talks about in that book, and this really helped me, is like micro movements and micro changes in your life. Like if you have a plane that starts in Philadelphia and then it flies to California, if at the runway you turn the plane 2 degrees north, just 2 degrees north, like literally just a little tick, by the time it gets over to like, what would it be, Tennessee, it's not going to be that far off track. But by the time it goes all the way across the country, that 2% move up, you'll end up in Washington or you know what I mean, Portland or Oregon instead of California. And it was just that 2% move, because over a given time period, That's where change happens. So I'm not saying burn the bridges, change everything right now, but the goal should be to make these micro adjustments to your life, chase excellence, and once you chase excellence, you will therefore gain status, you will therefore get women or men, whatever you're into, and you will therefore, most importantly, gain wealth, and then you can give it all back. Hope this video helped, guys. Share it with anybody if you are interested in. If we helped you, go hit the subscribe button, comment down below your journey, where you are, and some things you want to work on. Thanks, guys. Peace.